let it slide. Nah, I done did a lot just to get by, so I can't let it slide. I escaped the mental shackles, I ain't got patience for these bastards.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. So, we need to talk about this. This is problematic as far as I'm concerned. So, shortly after the biography on the Ultimate Warrior aired on A&E, Dana Warrior, his widow, posted some pictures of him, I believe, on her Instagram account. Then she was asked about the Dark Side of the Ring feature that will be taking place on that Thursday. She then said, I will not be involved with that smut and filth. Right? Basically, she's saying that Dark Side of the Ring is smut and filth. And, well, that's one way of looking at it. So then the day of the biography of the Ultimate Warrior, the Dark Side of the Ring crew, the people, I guess, who run the show, I guess, who run the Twitter account, decided they were going to make a t-shirt that says smut and filth. And if you buy the t-shirt, then the money goes to the obviously oppressed minority of New York City artists. Gay artists. I'm sorry. I got to be specified. The LGBT artist community in New York City. The most oppressed people in the entire planet, when they're actually the most pampered people in the entire planet. So let's talk about this for a minute. So I think it's wholly inappropriate for you to try to monetize this guy's wife, right? If she doesn't like your show, so what, right? Since you don't need her opinion or you don't need her permission to use any of the footage or to do anything, you don't really need to get involved with that at all. But this is my problem. It shows me by saying that we're going to sell this shirt, basically mocking Dana Warrior, and we're going to give the money to gay artists in New York City, not children, right? Not handicapped children, mentally handicapped, physically handicapped children. No, we're going to give it to a bunch of gay artists so they can do interpretive dance and play with paint. That's what, I mean, when you think about it, you have to ask the question, are they really trying to help anybody? Or is it just, oh, hey, I don't like the Ultimate Warrior, therefore I don't like his wife, and we want to mock them and make fun of them? So is she right then that you are smut and filth? Right? Now, I've been leery of Vice for a long time. And most people should have been. That in order to get certain people involved in these stories, you have to give certain things. When people say, oh yeah, WWE is not going to tell the truth because McMahon's going to be there or whatever, you have to take that same stance when they do documentaries on several other subjects. For instance, the Owen Hart documentary. Notice there were no other Harts involved. And people tend to watch Dark Side of the Ring and believe that the story that they told with Owen Hart was the complete and true story, when it wasn't really the case. There were things missing, right? It was the same thing with Jimmy Snuka. They got the Nancy Argentino's family involved with that, and they were able to tell the story that they wanted to tell. Was that entirely true? No, it was not entirely true. How do I know that they weren't telling the truth? Because I actually do research beyond, and that's what this channel does. Especially when you have channels that I don't trust, like Vice. I don't trust Vice. Okay? So when Vice says something or they do something, I always look for some type of secondary source. Now, they also get into business with people. And, like they got into business with Martha Hart and didn't tell anybody. They started selling Owen Hart t-shirts and merchandise, which, entangled them to the Owen Hart Foundation, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But as journalists, you have to tell people when you are involved financially with the people that you are covering. Like if I was going to do a documentary on, a subject, writing a book with a subject or whatever, I should have to disclose that, right? So now you should understand. oh, okay, well, he's in business with these people. Therefore, obviously, we're going to, how are we going to handle this situation with kid gloves? Now, it was this exact same thing with Vice when they do these documentaries and they're selling merchandise for other people. They're in business with some of these people, and they don't tell the viewers, and it takes and sometimes it's not until after the fact. Like I didn't find out about the Owen Hart thing until after the fact. They could have said, "Hey, we're working together with the Owen Hart Foundation to bring you this Dark Side of the Rings thing," and then it would have made perfect sense why there were no other Harts to argue against Martha or to say anything against Martha, and it would have made perfect sense. Just like, hey, when you see Vince McMahon on the TV, chances are WWE is not going to get bullied around and pushed around by this third party, because Vince McMahon would not be involved if they're going to get bullied around and pushed around. And the families of these people would not be would not be involved if they didn't have some kind of creative control. That is my issue here. Dana Warrior doesn't need the money of doing Dark Side of the Ring. She also doesn't need the notoriety, because the Ultimate Warrior is going to, him and his family are going to be taken care of due to their connections with the WWE. They're going to be fine. But by that same token, people are going to say, well, the biography is BS because the Warriors work with the WWE. Of course, they're not going to say that Dark Side of the Ring is BS, even though they are a very proudly progressive, pro, not just, anti-discrimination, but vehemently pro-LGBT. Because you would think that, we could look at this thing honestly, but we're not allowed to do that. And that also bothers me, because I see Dark Side of the Ring and they're basically pillaring the Ultimate Warrior for his anti-LGBT stances. At the same time, they had a huge documentary on New Jack, and New Jack tried to kill people in the ring on purpose, basically admitted so, and they sat down and laughed with him. But furthermore, New Jack disowned his cross-dressing gay son. Yes. And he was on Facebook saying things about him, how this guy is the F word and it's not his son. But when it comes to New Jack, they did not make fun of him. They didn't disown New Jack. They continued to try to support him. And look, it's cool. You can do whatever you want. But don't get upset when people call you out on it either. Just like you say, oh, well, A&E is biased. They're working with WWE. Okay, you're biased. You're doing stuff with the Ultimate Warrior's ex-wife, a woman he hasn't been with since the mid-90s. Okay, so, I mean, they weren't together for like 20 years before that, but before he died. So it's really a strange thing. But we're in a situation here where, the outside the ring stuff matters so much, and it's being monetized and remonetized, and you have people writing articles about it. Again, David Bixenspan writing articles about the Ultimate Warrior now because it's topical. But to swing back around to the beginning, that is the smut and filth industry. They exist to dig up old stuff and then try to monetize it for their benefit, for the people that they like. But it doesn't seem to actually add anything to the culture. And that's why I've always said that Dark Side of the Ring is a problem. So stuff like Dark Side of the Ring, stuff like The Wrestler, it can be fun. It can be fun. But when it gets a reputation to be in, hey, this is what it is, this is the story, and this is the unmitigated truth, and not, hey, this is just one narrative in the situation. This is just one, side of the story. Then we have a different problem. We have new problems. Because people do see these documentaries and believe that that's the be all end all. That these people are telling the absolute truth and they're not biased. That, the questions that are being asked are not being asked in a certain way to generate a certain answer. That this thing is not edited and re-edited for certain purposes. Now, I'm not going to say politics, but I'm saying it's a TV show. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a TV show. And because it's a TV show, people should not take what they do so seriously. Furthermore, I don't take Dark Side of the Ring seriously because you're going to take money and talk about for an anti-LGBT wrestler, and you're instead of giving it to LGBT youth or something like that, you choose artists in New York City, not in Nebraska or Idaho or small town America. No, it has to be either New York or Los Angeles. That's why you don't trust these people. They have groups that they care about and they don't care about anybody else. So it's very strange to me, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.